Okay everybody, welcome back to another mobility. I'm here today with Sophie. She is going to be our model. She's going to stretch for us and show you through the various progressions you can do. We're going to start with hips and a little bit of groin stuff today. So Sophie's going to start. She's going to make her way into a down dog or a downward dog. Things to think about while you're here. If you're not as flexible as Sophie, you can soften your knees, bend your knees a little bit and really try and send your hips back a bit further. You can pedal your calves a little bit to try and get the backs of your legs and your hammies stretched and warm. We're going to stay here for a few breaths and then we're going to make our way into the first of our hip stretches. Alrighty, Sophie's going to take her left leg and step it across to meet her right hand. Then she's going to let that shin fall out to the side. She's going to make her way down into a left-sided pigeon pose. So we're going to start, for those of us who are not very mobile, you can start with hands on the floor with your torso nice and upright. If you're a little bit more bendy than that, your elbows can come down to the floor. You can walk your hands out in front. And if you're really, really mobile, like Sophie, you can get chest and head down to the floor and just kind of get comfortable there. So we're going to focus on our breathing while we're here. I want you to try and be breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. We're going to spend 1 or 2 minutes in each of the postures, really trying to kind of relax into things and soften and let our chest fall down and our hips open up as we breathe out. So what we want to do is we want to be breathing in for a count of 6. We want to hold for 2 and breathe out for a count of 8. It might take you a little bit of time to build up to doing that, but that's okay. So we'll start by breathing everything out all the way. And then we're going to breathe in for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to hold for 1, 2. We're going to breathe out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And repeat in for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold for 1, 2, breathe out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, you're going to maintain that breathing pattern. If you can't quite breathe in for 6 seconds or make the breath out, take 8. Try and slow down, breathe in and out a little slower, and really think about breathing through pursed lips or through your nose and slowing that breath in right down. All right, Sophie's going to take her hands down to the floor. She's going to slowly walk them back up. She's going to come back into a down dog. So she's going to bring the chest up, step her left foot back up and through. And we're going to spend 2 breaths in our down dog position. We're going to use this pose as a bit of a transition piece today to kind of make our way between our stretches. So we're going to get some rest here. Should be a little bit less uncomfortable than some of the other positions you might end up in today. All right, from there, Sophie's left foot is going to step forward outside her left hand. She's going to come into a lizard type pose. Cool, so back knee can drop to the floor. We're going to start there with hands on the floor if you can, okay? If you're comfortable there and that's too easy and you're not getting too much of a stretch, elbows can come down to the floor. If you can't get your elbows down, you can use a pillow or a towel to put underneath your elbows. And then if you're really comfortable there, you can go all the way to the floor. Depends on how flexible you are. All right, where we're feeling this, back of our left hip and the front of our right. And we want to be focusing on our breathing. If you can't maintain that 6 in, hold for 2 and 8 second out breathing, you're probably moving too far into the stretch and we don't want that, okay? So soften back out of the stretch if you need to so that your breathing's under control, your diaphragm or your belly's rising and falling, not your chest. Good, 30 more seconds here and then we're going to change. From there, Sophie's she's gonna leave her foot where it is. She's gonna shift her hips back and bring her torso upright. She's gonna lengthen through her left leg. We're gonna go for a hamstring stretch here. So hips go back, shoulders go forward. We're gonna hinge. Yep, if you can get hands to the floor, that's great. If you can get your chest sort of down onto that leg, that's good. You may start this position though, upright, with just your hands resting on your thigh, putting a little bit of pressure through that hammy. Depends on how mobile you are, but Soph can fold forward from there, make herself comfy. Good. If you point the toe like Sophie is, you should be able to get a little bit further into that stretch. If you bring the toe towards your face, it'll be a little bit more intense and you'll put your nervous system on stretch a bit more and you might not feel as comfortable. So fiddle with that and find where you're comfy in that position. Whatever works for you is more than fine. Good. We're going to quickly check in and pay attention to our breathing. Are we still maintaining our 6 in, 2 hold, 8 out pattern? If we're not, let's look to go back to that. So breathing all the way out and then in for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 1, 2, and out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, from there, Sophie's hands are going to stay on the floor. She's going to bring that left leg back to the right foot, however she can. Good, and we're going to go back. We've lost a sock. We'll go back into downward facing dog from there. So hips come up and back, beautiful. We lengthen through hammies and through hips. We'll spend a breath or two there, and then we're going to change leg. Alright, so now Sophie's going to step her right foot over to her left hand for a right-sided pigeon. So shin falls out to the side, back leg straightens out behind her, and we start wherever we're comfortable. So that might be hands down, might be elbows, it might be head or chest. Make yourself comfy, kick back, relax. Making sure that we're only going as far as we can while our breathing stays solid. So we want to take our time on the out breath. That's why we're breathing out for 8. And as we do that, we really want to soften and let out the weight of our torso, pull us forward over that shin and over that knee, and really start to kind of relax or soften into that stretch. While you're here, if this is uncomfortable on your knee, Sophie's done a very good job of getting her shin parallel to her mat. If that is uncomfortable on your knee, you can bring your heel a bit further down towards your groin. That will offload your knee a bit more. So there'll be a range somewhere in there that you'll be comfortable. Make sure you set up where your body is happy. From there, hands can come back to the floor. We'll slowly work our way back into our down dog. So we step our right foot back through, hips come back up. We lengthen, and we use this as a nice little transition between poses. And then right hand is going to step up outside Sophie. So right foot, sorry, is going to step up outside Sophie's right hand. Back leg can drop. Can let our hips sink forward into that stretch. Hands can go to floor, elbows or head can go to floor, wherever you're comfortable. And then we're going to go back to our breathing. 6 in, hold for 2, 8 out. We're going to spend 30 more seconds in this position. So 2 more breaths, really focusing on sagging and sinking and leaning forward into our hips as we breathe out. Okay, bit of weight on our hands. We step that foot, or sorry, we send the hips back. We leave that leg out in front. We're gonna find a hammy stretch there. So Sophie's obviously very flexible if you haven't worked that out already. So if yours doesn't quite look like this, that's okay. Wherever is comfortable for you, so long as we're putting a little bit of length through our hamstring, we're feeling the stretch there, we are happy. Go back to thinking about our breathing. Are we breathing in? Are we really focusing on letting our belly rise and fall? Are we consciously breathing slowly? If not, take a minute to get that under control while we're in this pose. Really work on slowing our breath down. I think a lot of the time we forget how important it is to be conscious of our breathing and our breath. Okay, from there, Sophie can slowly bend that knee, make her way out of that hamstring stretch, and that is going to be all we're going to do for today. So thanks for coming along, thanks for joining us for a little stretch and a little bit of mobility work, and we'll be back same time tomorrow with plenty more. Very enthusiastic clap, love that.